All right, friends, happy Money Monday. It is your girl, Jana Brown here, your mentor for winning in wellness, wealth, and walking by faith. Happy Money Monday. I'm so excited to chat with you about this topic because I hear this all the time, and it is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. And so I'm going to help you. We're going to replace that lie with the truth. Okay. So drop the word truth down below if you are ready for some truth. Okay. And in case you don't know, I have been building network marketing businesses since 2012. Left the industry. No, I did not. I didn't leave. I left the supplement nutrition space, went into financial services, and then got right back in, right back into nutrition. I'm not going to go into all that, okay? But just know that I was able to take a little bit of money and turn it into options for me and my kids, okay? And I come to the table with so much belief that if I can do it, anyone can do it. Because I had no network, no resume, no skills, no nothing. All I had was a pure burning desire to change my life. And I want you to know that that's all you need initially. And when you have the other ingredients that we're going to talk about, my friend, you are going to be unstoppable. Okay. Unstoppable. But before we get into all that, you know the drill. If you're catching me live, please put a flame down below. And if this is the replay for you, put a purple heart down below. And then make sure, if you haven't done so already, take a screenshot, because I want to make sure you know my handle for my TikTok, my Instagram, and my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, follow, all the things so we can stay connected. All right. Okay. So again, hey, Nikki, good to see you. Congratulations on all your success, girlfriend. So proud of you for all you've accomplished with your health. Love it so much. So real quick, I'm a retired personal trainer. I've been a single mom for 17 years. My husband passed away in a motorcycle accident. And, now I truly love to help people succeed online, in particular women. I love to help women make money online, in particular passive income. I want you to put the words passive income in the comments. Okay. I'll never forget when I woke up to my first $500. My friend, absolutely changed my life. I mean, radically changed my life, because that's when I really, number one, felt the reality that this was going to be more than I imagined it to be. But I also really, at that point, just knew wholeheartedly that the system works when you work it. Okay. The system works when you work it. And that truly is the foundation to what we're going to talk about. So the lie. What is the lie? I need a big following, Jana. I don't have a big following. And then I hear the funny little words, like you. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, stop. No, you don't need a big following. Let me ask you a question while I take a sip of water. I don't know why my mouth is so dry today. Okay. Let me ask you a question, my friend. Would you rather have 10,000 followers? Okay. Would you rather have 10,000 followers, or would you rather have 10 that you've influenced and impacted? Because that right there is what pays you. Followers are just followers. I want you to think about how many, okay, let me try to rephrase. Let me think of a phrase. How many accounts do you follow? Out of all the accounts that you follow, how many do you actually buy from? And why do you buy from them? See, it's not about the followers. It's about the influence. And there's some other things that kind of have to play a part in someone's decision. For example, I teach my team every week. There are 4 stages to a buyer. Okay. There's curiosity. I'm curious about that. I might follow that account. I'm curious about them. I like their vibe. Let me follow. But that doesn't equate to actually purchasing, because that's just the initial stage is curiosity, right? And then there's interested. Interested is perhaps where someone's like, okay, let me put my email in for their freebie. Let me put my email in so I can get their free PDF or whatever the case may be. And then there's going to become the time where there's like okay, let me pull out my wallet for this. So that can take time. But so the goal isn't to have followers. I would rather have 100 very interested people in me than have 10,000 followers for the sake of having 10,000 followers. Does that make sense? Put the word yes or yes in the comments. And so I hope you're kind of catching on that you don't need a big following to have success. And then let me back up a little bit, because I think it's important to understand, first and foremost, you've got to have realistic expectations. I talked about this last week. You've got to have realistic expectations. Now, unless you come to the table already with major influence, most of the time, for people like me and people like you, it's going to take time to build, right? Remember, we're building a business, but it's not just building a business, it's building a presence. It's building like no trust, right? So we have Nikki on here. I think you're still on here, Nikki. So if Nikki wanted to start promoting, I don't know, makeup, and she's never done it before. In fact, she never really even wore makeup in the first place. It might take her a little bit of time, right? It might take her a little bit of time to build up her audience, because they don't see her that way yet. However, guess what, Nikki? One good reel can reach 10,000 plus people. Right? So you never know. And the biggest mistake that so many of my affiliates make, and people in network marketing in general, is they base their success on the performance of one video or post. And I'm like, honey, we're just getting started. This is not Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams. Just because you join the business doesn't mean people are going to buy today, okay? Now, my job as the mentor and coach is to increase odds of success. So I have a plan in place and a system in place to help my team win and win quickly. But there are some factors. So outside of, coming to the table with influence or whatever, bottom line is you've got to have that build mentality. You've got to build yourself. You've got to build a presence. You've got to build a brand. You've got to build. Nikki, I see you on here. I'm not sure who else is on here, but I would bet that, prior to 2023, everybody knew what Jana Brown was about. Everybody knew what Jana Brown was about. 28-day shred, Advocare girl, muscle girl, right? That's how I was known. But it took me, I spent 13 years building that brand and building that image. So when I changed careers in 2023, in October 2023, I had to start basically all over again and build up a new image. I don't want to be known as Muscle Jana and bodybuilding Jana, and I don't want, no, my brand is we're going to make money online creating multiple passive income streams. Working smarter, not harder. And I want to mentor you in not just income, but in wellness and faith. So much of what I do is driven by the Holy Spirit. It's driven by Jesus. I want to help women learn how to walk in victory. And what I know is that you've got gifts and callings on your life that a 9-to-5 is not going to help you carry out. That's why I want to teach you how to make money in your sleep. Because when you have time and money together, you can truly live out what God has called you to do. Am I right or am I right? So that's my brand now. And let me tell you this. I walked away from a significant income in October 2023, and I walked away because I felt like the Lord was calling me to a different place. And that's going to kind of bring me into what I'm also going to be wanting you to catch, is that you've got to trust God. You've got to trust your calling. You've got to trust what he's put on your heart. If the Lord has put on your heart, I want you to move into this new space. I want you to join this business with Jana or whoever. I want you to move. Then why are we worried about whether or not we've got 10 friends on Facebook or 10,000? We shouldn't be worried about anything. Am I right? Because we know that I know God has called me to this moment in time right now. I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I know I'm not supposed to be a personal trainer anymore. I know I'm not supposed to be bodybuilding anymore. I know I'm not even supposed to be doing any of the things I was doing for the past 2 years, because that was my growing season in Jesus. That was my time. That was my quiet time. So that brings me to another point. I want you to know what season you're in. What season are you in? Are you in a wilderness season? Are you in a growing season? Are you in a planting season where you're just serving and planting and serving and planting, AKA build? Are you in a building season? Right now, I'm in a building season. I just came out of a growing season where I had to grow up, honey, grow up. In Jesus, God had to tear down some idols in my life, and I had to break some chains, right? But then joining this industry, joining with Make Wellness and the peptides, now I'm in a building. I got to build women. I got to build them up, right? I got to teach them how to do this thing, how to make money online with this. And guess what? It doesn't take a whole lot of people to have a lot of success. In fact, with my business, it only takes 4 people, you plus 4, to earn $1,000 in 30 days. Now, can't promise you that. I can show you the way. I don't know what's going to happen. But I can promise you, you plus 4 can equal $1,000 in 30 days, alongside the natural flow of your life. If you're posting on social media, I can show you how to do it with intention and make some money. If you're in your Facebook stories, I can show you how to do it with intention and make some money without being spammy, creepy, weird. But it doesn't matter how incredible the plan is. It doesn't matter how great of a coach and mentor I am. None of that matters if you have a small mindset. You need to have a mindset shift. Okay? Can we agree that it doesn't matter how great an opportunity is if someone doesn't believe? Yes or yes? If you come to the table with a fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of being misunderstood, now at that point in time, you're being disobedient. Because you're not going to get into action when you feel those things. And if you feel like God has called you to whatever it is you have on your heart, and you start overthinking and you start going into analysis paralysis, now you're going into disobedience, and you can't walk out what God has called you to walk out. It doesn't make any sense. What if I said, okay, I know that God has called me to this business. This is what I'm supposed to do. And yet I sit in the corner and do nothing because I'm living in fear, because I'm afraid of what others would think. And I have to be honest with you. When I left fitness and nutrition and personal training, I was scared to death. I was scared. And I don't get scared, but I was nervous. I didn't know what people were going to think. I was also walking away from, a significant income. So there was all those things, but I was like, you know what? No, I've got to get out of that headspace and trust that God's going to take care of me, and he has. If you're not showing up, then people can't be served. The people that God has called, the people that the Lord has assigned to you in your business, no matter what the business is, but the people that God has assigned to you in your business, if you're not showing up, how are they going to be impacted? So you got to have faith, my friend. Put the word faith in the comment box. You got to have faith. Not just faith that God calls you to it, but faith that he's already prepared the way. And you've got to have that boldness that, look, you've got to have that unshakable, unwavering, bold, passionate belief. And that should translate into obedience, because when you believe, you should obey. Thirdly, is that a word? Thirdly, this also ties into, again, you don't need a large following. Okay. You don't need a large following. You need a strategy. Okay. Third thing you need strategy. Simple attraction marketing. Use stories, reels, live videos. Videos are where it's at. I want you to put the word video in the comments. You might be like, well, Jana, I don't know how to do that. Well, guess what? I have a done for you content library, my friend, and I have a tech tutorial folder that will show you how to do all the things. In fact, if you saw my Instagram and Facebook story today, I literally broke down exactly how I do my reels. Super easy. Super simple. Okay. And you'll get better as you go. What you have to bring to the table is a willingness to grow into the income that you want to achieve. You have to be willing to grow into the income that you want to achieve. And so when I talk to someone and they're like, I hate technology and, I'm not a tech person and this, that, and the third, I'm just like, I want you to repeat after me. I love technology and technology loves me. As a woman thinketh, so is she. Whatever you think about, you bring about. And let me also say and remind you that we all started with training wheels. Let me ask you a question. Can you ride a bike without training wheels? Can you ride a bike without training wheels? Yes. Were you always able to ride a bike without training wheels? No. So you are going to be able to create a reel and go live one day. One day. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. One day. Another way that you can attract people to you and your brand is just showing your daily life. It's not about perfection. It's not about being somebody else. It's about being your true and authentic self. And if you follow me for any length of time, you have probably seen me put stories in my social media with stars in my nose and my hair is jacked up, no makeup on. Like, this is how it is. I'm keeping it 100 and I always will. Because I want you to see yourself doing what I do. And if I am done up all day, every day, looking like I'm about to go walk the catwalk, you're probably not going to get started because it's going to look like hard work. What does that have to do with not having a large following? Because you're not trying to attract everybody. You're just trying to attract you plus 4 people. Okay? Not a lot. Not a lot. Again, you would rather have 10 positively impacted diehard fans and customers than 1 million followers who do nothing for you. Well, if you had 1 million, Instagram would probably pay you at that point. But you know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Little bonus tip. You want to have clear calls and clear invitations, calls to action. Tell your audience to do something. And I tell my team this, and I actually got it from one of my mentors, and it stuck with me. And that is, swallowed some ice. And that is, sometimes we have to talk to adults like they're kids. You got to tell them what to do. Just like I'm going to tell you to make sure you subscribe to my new YouTube channel. Did you hear me earlier when I first started the video? I said, be sure to screenshot, right? Make sure you screenshot the screen so you can get my handle and you can connect with me on all of my other platforms. It's a call to action. Doesn't take a lot of skill to do that. And then teach your audience. You're going to teach your audience how to lean into authenticity because you are going to be authentic. I'll be honest with you. There are some women who do these videos and their Instagram, it's like, it's flawless and that's great. But I'm like, that's just not Jana Brown. I tried to be that way and I didn't like it. So when you join me, if you decide to ever join me or whoever you join with, I want you to promise yourself right now, and I'm going to have you put the word promise in the comment box. I want you to promise yourself right now that you will always be authentic. Now, at the same time, I want you to promise yourself that you're going to be willing to grow and improve, and that's different from trying to be somebody that you're not. You're not going to see Jana Brown walking around in heels every day. It's not going to happen. 99% of the time, I'm going to have man hands. It's me. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. You can still be that and grow in your personal development and grow in your skills. You can still be you and grow. So I hope you see the difference. I'm not growing and being someone that you're not is not what I mean. Is not the same thing. Okay. And the more you show up, the true and authentic you, the more people are going to relate to you. And that's what you want. You want people to like, know, and trust you. And you want to be able to create these Me Too moments with them. And you'll do that through being authentic. Okay. Now, the fourth thing that you need, remember, you don't need a large following. You don't need a large following. The truth is you need to make an influence, and we'll teach you that. Got to have your mindset shift. You want to have some strategy, and you also want a system in place. Plug and play simplicity, my friend. Plug and play simplicity. This is so you're not starting from scratch. Okay. For example, my team, we get pre-built systems, scripts, and coaching. We get everything is already pre-built. Now, I am a very hands-on mentor. I am not the kind that just likes to throw links to my affiliates and say good luck. I'm a very, very hands-on mentor and coach. But we do have things in place to where maybe perhaps someone doesn't need so much hand-holding. Well, if that's you, you can just click a link and get off to the races and take off if you want to take off. But the bottom line is this: You're not starting from scratch. Okay. So let's just say, okay, and how does this tie into not needing a large following? Because this makes it simple for you to not need a large following. For example, if there was no system in place, if there was no plug and play simplicity, then yeah, you'd need a big, huge following. That way you just throw a link out there and then, people just click on it and you're done, right? No. If you're brand spanking new without a large following, you're going to want a simple strategy, right? That we just talked about with attraction marketing. You're going to want that mindset. You're going to want a simple system that you can just plug and play and not have to start from scratch, right? You don't need to know it all. You just need to be coachable and consistent. So this was me. I started with $70 to my name, no skills, no nothing. And the reason why I rose my hand and I said, yes, I'm doing this is because there was a system in place and I had a mentor who was willing to help me. And I was like, oh my God, this is a no-brainer. Why isn't everybody doing this? You plus 4 people, my friend, I can get you $1,000 in 30 days, depending. Not a guarantee. Can't say that. But I can show you a system. I can show you a way. 4 people. But listen, your vision, it's not about the 4 people. It's about what those 4 can unlock. And that's what we call the butterfly effect. Because listen, there's a forest behind every tree. Forest behind every tree. I didn't know Tiffany Chapa on my team before February. Not really, no. But because Tiffany came into my life through attraction marketing, mind you, she saw my social media. She reached out to me. I didn't even have to go to her. And she's now opened the door to so many people. And then a few people in there opened the door to so many people. And now I think today, right now at this point, this month, her team has done like $10,000 in volume. Not me, her team. Do you see what I mean? And she's just one person. So would you rather go out there and try to move $10,000 in product, or would you rather find one friend to unlock the ability to do that? Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're only one person. So imagine if you had 4 people like Tiffany, because you don't know who people know. And that's where people get stuck. They're just like, well, I only have 3 people. I'm like, that's 3 freaking humans that could know. You don't know who they know, right? So don't get hung up on how many people you know. I want you to think big picture, big picture, that ripple effect. So back in 2012, I knew Shelly Long. Guess what happened? Shelly Long went to freaking work. And next thing you know, Shelly Long moved over $100,000 worth of product within her. And that was part of my residuals. You see what I'm saying? That is why affiliate marketing is one of the most powerful income streams that one could ever have, because you're leveraging. You're not making money off someone else. The company is paying you for helping them make money. You're getting paid what you're worth. If I can help develop one person and help that one person make $500 a month, I get rewarded for that. So the more people you help, the more income you make. It's plain and simple. Now, what will happen is, let's say you only know the 3-4 people. Well, guess what, honey? You're going to meet more people along the way. This is social media. Like I said, one video can reach thousands and thousands of people. You are going to meet more people. You can't sit there and tell me that the people you know today are the same people that you knew a year ago and a year before that and a year before that and a year before that. No, you meet new people. You make new friends. But you have to be willing to show up even when it's quiet. Even when it's quiet. Because what I know is that most of the time, the people that you are going to impact the most are the ones who never commented, are the ones who never liked on your post, are the ones who silently watched. And if you quit, you will validate why they haven't joined yet. So here is my call to action. If you're tired of waiting for a big break, let's just create one for you. You plus 4 people can equal a completely different financial future. You plus 4 people could get you $1,000 in 30 days. That's the blueprint, if you will. Can't promise you anything, but we have I can, that's the path. All right. A little more detail than that, I'm not going to go into, but that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning, my friend. Because guess what? We're going to take those 4 people and we're going to repeat the process. And then we're going to repeat the process. And then we're going to repeat the process. Okay. So I want to invite you to get started. And I want to leave you with this question. How long have you been thinking about changing your life? And wouldn't you agree that if you had made a decision then, that your life would be different now? So don't wait. Success is not going to attack you. You're not going to blow up and have 1 million followers overnight where you can just share a link and everybody buys. It's just not going to happen. So we've got to create opportunity for you. So I want to invite you to comment info or just message me to get started. And I'll walk you step by step, okay? Because remember, we're building. We're building. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight, but we're building something. But I can promise you this, okay? If you have a little bit of people, stop playing small, be willing to follow the strategy, use the system, and have some big vision, my friend, you truly can be in a completely different place in life 1 year from today. I have no doubt about that. You can be in a completely different place if you get out of your own mind, get out of your own head. And one more thing. I laugh at some of my affiliates when they're like, nobody's commenting on my post, or they'll say something like, I've talked to everyone. And I'll say, how many Facebook friends do you have? Some of them will say 1,000, some will say 300, whatever. And I'm like, you've talked to every single one of them? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, let's not get discouraged. You just need to get out there more, start more conversations. Just say hi to people. Just say hi. You don't even have, we're not even talking about product. Just say hi to people. How many people are you making friends with? How many people are you just saying, hey girl, how's it going? Like, okay, if every one of your Facebook friends showed up at a party, would you just be quiet? Would you just stand there in the corner like this? Or would you go up to them and say, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? If you make a friend, you'll most likely make a customer. And if you make a customer, most likely you'll make an affiliate. All right. If you got value from this, drop the word value. down below. Don't forget, follow the handle, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Hope to connect with you. Visit the link in my bio as well. Make sure you put your email in so you can get your PDF. You can also get my money guide emailed to you right away. So let's have a great rest of our night. Bye.